Very well. I suppose we shall begin, but we'll leave the doors open in case there are any stragglers. Well, to begin with, I'm sure that you have all seen the proclamation that has appeared across the land on these stela, these tablets. Well, good. Then I don't need to go over what was said there and the dire threat that we are all faced with.
What's happening? I was eating.
Just another powerful sorcerer or something threatening us all with doom.
Oh. You should
That was
stab them. That usually works.
No, look, no, you're completely underestimating the threat. Nephitamoon is not just another powerful sorcerer, he is the most powerful sorcerer, and he has the entire Necronomicon in his hands. If he wants you dead, you will be dead.
Okay. Make friends then.
If he wants your soul to be his slave for eternity, your soul will be his slave for eternity.
So how do we stop someone like that?
I would
You
like
could
to
give them
begin
presents.
first with understanding how and why we reached this point. Obviously, the pharaoh is extremely upset because someone tried to rob his tomb. Now, the realm of Neket did not sanction, nor are we informed of any such action, and we condemn it in the strongest terms. Now, I have received intelligence that someone was there. Someone who did not help the robbers, but indeed defended the tomb. Can we please hear the testimony of this individual? And she looks pointedly over to her left at the Khitan.
Yes, Commander. Some of you in this room know me. Some have just met. I am Feng Shui, monk to the Feng
Hi,
Monastery.
Feng Shui.
Hello.
Like Grandpa.
And I am also a sworn guardian of the Necronomicon pages. I witnessed this team of war party yesterday while I was researching the Necronomicon. I was invited by the Pharaoh himself for recovering these pages. He allowed me to research them, which is why, Drifter, I had to take the pages from you.
I
But
remember your pages ago.
I wish I had known, Zapoga, that you knew of these pages beforehand. It would have been much more help to track them down and possibly talk to Akuri on sound mind. Nevertheless, I have recovered them, and they are in a place where they need to be. The pages must be kept from those who wish to do harm. I do not know if it was you, Akiri, or your mind that was playing tricks on you, making you do the things you did. However, they are not yours any longer. If it is in your heart to take these pages and use them for evil, I am sure you will understand that I will be there. But I am not here to make threats to anyone. I am only here for the information that I have of this temple and of the Necronomicon. I also had one of these pages at one time. It brought much despair to my monastery. It made one of my strongest warrior go mad and attack the commander in her own realm, in front of her army. This was not acceptable, and I killed the man on the spot. What we need here are sound mind. We must once again come together like we did previously to fight Ganaka from the Outer Dark. There is something out there. The Pharaoh has told me this. There are others that wish to use this book, this tome, for evil. It is up to all of us to stop them, to preserve our way of life. For if we do not, and we let our shortcomings get ahead of us, then we will lose. And Lord knows where this will lead. I was hoping that there would be someone from the Sultanate to speak to. For the gripes between the Sultanate and Armisa must be put aside for now. This is something greater than all of our woes. Now, it is true the Necronomicon has great power, and the one who holds it will do nothing, or will do everything within his power if we do not aid him in recovering the remainder of the Necronomicon. I have felt this power, and even with 3 pages tight within my grasp, I was not able alone to fight it. So I implore all of you to listen to what the commander has to say and unite in efforts to rid this land of those that will wish evil upon us. Thank you. If you have further questions, you may ask.
I didn't really understand all that, but I'll help.
So, Fang, are you in the service of Nephitamun?
I am in the service to the Necronomicon.
To the book itself? How interesting.
I will preserve this book at all costs.
And if the Necronomicon were to fall into the hands of, say, the Master of Yimsha or Thothamon, would you do their bidding as well?
No.
Ah, asking questions that matter, I see. The Black Seers of Yimsha, they are some of the most powerful magicians in the world, led by the Master of Yimsha. They're also known as the Black Circle in the East. We have learned that they manipulate from afar by pulling their puppet strings. They determine the destinies of nations. We don't know why they've come to the exiled lands, what it is that they want here. We do know that they were in an alliance with Thothamon, the leader of the Black Ring in Stygia. I'm sure many of you have heard of him.
No.
Yes.
Oh, the original Mount Yimsha. It is in the Himalayan mountains, not far from your homeland, Sahab. But in these lands, we understand they have set up a similar mountain retreat, high in the snowy peaks. We have sent scouts to try and get a closer look, but no one has returned alive, unless they were forced to turn back by avalanches and hazards along the perilous ascent. Yes, as far as a plan of action, I believe that ascending the mountain, facing whatever sorcery and challenges are in your path, to reach the Master of Yimsha alive and confront him. I believe that is the mission that we are called to face.
I think we'll need to scout out this stronghold in the north successfully.
As I said, our best scouts did not return alive. No
Well, I
one
haven't been up there yet.
no one is able to go up that mountain alone. You will die. Only together in a strong party do you have a chance. If there are sorcerers among you,
What?
if there are those among you who are skilled in the arcane arts, shamans, priests, you will be needed for this. Warriors will be needed too. And once you arrive at whatever citadel these Black Seers have built, I'm sure that those who can sneak around and get into places they shouldn't will be needed too.
Yes.
Let
And
us
who would be a
return.
part of this party?
Let us return first and make sure we know what we need to know. Let us consider what Nefertamun has said in his demands. He has said he wishes us, the Exiles, to seek out and destroy his enemy, the Master of Yimsha, and the sorcerers of the Black Circle. He commands us to take back the artifacts that they have stolen. These would be the artifacts of power that we have all heard of, including the personal effect of Queen Nefertisha. Now, does anyone know how the personal effect of Prophetess Skula may have ended up in the hands of Yimsha?
No.
Perhaps one of her lovers slipped away with it.
Yes, I was thinking something along these lines myself, as the article that has gone missing was none other than her gilded loincloth. Apparently, it is an artifact of great magical power. So, the Pharaoh has demanded that this and other artifacts be retrieved. Now, do we know of any other artifacts that these Black Seers have in their possession?
Mm. I do not.
No.
I am the wrong person to ask.
Yes, for that matter, there are a couple who had joined us late. Can you please introduce yourselves and where you come from?
Gladly.
Um,
Aurelius, you can go first.
I'm Aurelius Dion. I live by the river. I'm Aquilonian, as if you can tell by the way I dress.
Alright.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, welcome.
My name is Gilithane. I hail from the High Moon Lodge on the river to the south. We are a band of hunters and gatherers.
Ah, where are you
Pleasure to meet
from
you all.
before exile?
I'm Sumerian.
Ah, an Aquilonian and a Sumerian. Well, you're certainly an international bunch here.
Yeah.
Now, does truly no one know what other artifacts may be in possession of the Master of Yimsha?
Perhaps someone could ask the Pharaoh.
Well, you seem to be friends with him, Meg.
I am not friends with him.
But still, you were allowed into his tomb, and you were not slain, as others were.
I am merely there to keep an eye on the Necronomicon. I have been invited into this temple for gaining the pages. As a reward, I am allowed to conduct the research. Perhaps I can find out more information if I to go back. But will I be attacked again?
If it is relevant, certainly.
Because I am telling you I am not. I am not one to lie, like you. I come straight out with what I have to say. I do not lie about who I am.
Who else has come to join the council?
I don't know. People call me smartass sometimes. Maybe that's my name. I figured I'm smart and wise.
This is a serious council. We will ask you to introduce yourself with your real name.
I have no clue.
Then get the fuck out.
I'm just saying you may need my help down the line. I'm pretty damn strong.
For the last time, reveal your identity.
Perhaps you can figure out who my skin is, but I'll be pretty clueless. Would that appease you?
Take off the helmet.
Know your name.
Very well.
Oh, it's Mech. Alright then, take a seat, Mech.
Is that who I am?
You do not know who you are.
He smells a little old.
Huh. I have no idea what's going on, but I'll sit like I do.
Mech, you were intimate with the prophetess Skula. Do you have any idea how her loincloth ended up in the clutches of Yimsha?
I'm just now finding out that my name's Mac.
Well,
Or he's just really
Our mental
old.
deficiency.
Weren't you just having that problem, Yana?
Old people forget stuff.
there have been several scourges of corruption and madness in these lands. As frustrating as it is, we must accept that Mech is perhaps insane.
What caused this insanity?
Well, this is what you get for taking random skin things. Continue? Wait, I was being asked a question. That doesn't
Corruption
quite add up.
and sorcery are known to bring out madness, and the gods know there have been enough of corruption and sorcery ever since Hylie came, then Gnaka.
Well,
Yes, Yana, you're a veteran of the Kari War. You fought against Nefertamun, and then the ones who took over after they had killed him. Well, he was killed by his own people, but he was entombed. His mummy was brought back in the time of the Demon War, brought back by no other than your god, Set, as well as by Derketo to fight the demons, and ever since he has stayed.
he also was crucial to fighting Ganaka and ridding her of these lands.
This must be acknowledged as well. We could not have defeated Kor the Accursed and ended the threat of the Outer Dark, nor could we have toppled Hylie and Gnaka without his aid.
So is he on our side?
I'm not saying we should trust an ancient mummy Setite sorcerer. However, Mech asks if he is our friend. He is threatening to kill us all, to kill every living human in the exiled lands, except for those he has a use for, which, as far as I can tell, is really only Skula and perhaps Feng.
Right. But didn't that only happen after those Saltman guys decided to go in and do something or another?
The Sultanate, yes. Mech, you're an official in the Sultanate. You're one of Khalid's emirs. Perhaps you could tell us about that decision.
Huh? Let me see. I read somewhere that that I'm supposed to be a representative, and they went in, and I'm pretty sure they probably failed, as I probably could have told them they would, you know. Ancient Kari mummy, sorcery, and stuff. You know, you don't just go in there all willy-nilly.
Why did they do it, though?
Uh, 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 okay, I got this. It's Khalid, so, horny, Zoya, yes, Zoya. I
Zoya.
remembered something. Uh, he says that Zoya says that, Nefertamun had her?
Yes, we had heard this tale that Zoya, a priestess of Derketo, along with Castel, that they were, well, allegedly abducted by Nefertamun and imprisoned in his pyramid until they were broken free by the aid of someone called Irutasa. Irutasa, who is known to have links to the Master of Yimsha, to the Black Seers. It seems very convenient that that would be their savior, and that then the Black Seers would influence, say, the Sultanate to attack Nefertamun.
So the Black Seers are against Nefet.
Well, Nefertamun has told us to destroy the Black Seers or he will kill us all, so I think that's a safe assumption.
So we're with the Black Seers? I'm confused.
Well, it seems that the Black Seers have persuaded some people to help them, and that Nefertamun is angry as a result.
I knew I couldn't trust the Sultan.
So what if the artifacts were returned peacefully?
Well, it is our hope that, and by peacefully do you mean by killing the Black Seers and taking them from them?
Yes, or alternatively, we work out an agreement for these items to be returned.
What do the Black Seers wish to have in return? What do they want? Why are they here?
That's not a question I can answer.
Does
They're after
anyone know?
those artifacts,
But
obviously.
why?
The artifacts of power, we have been warned that they, if they are collected into the hands of one person, one sorcerer, they can be used to effect a ritual of domination. And then everyone who wears the bracelet will be their slave.
So they wish to enslave.
Okay.
This may not
So
be
the
the only use for these artifacts of power. As we know, Necronomicon in its own right is a potent tome of necromancy and summoning. But we do know that if anyone gains all of the artifacts, that is the danger. That they will enact this ritual and that we will all become their slaves.
So let me try and understand. So the choice is conflict or slavery. That is our two options.
Well, right now, some of the artifacts are held by Nefertimoon. Some of the artifacts are held by the Black Seers of Yimsha, and perhaps others in the lands have been hiding, holding on to theirs. Nefertimoon is demanding that we take what the Black Seers have and give it to him, or he will kill us all.
That's the fun part. Nothing.
I
At
am
any
not
moment, he could
saying
just go against us.
I am not saying that I trust the Pharaoh, but from what he says to us, is that he does not wish anything from our warm-blooded exiles. He wishes to control the undead.
We also know that he has
And we
been.
should stand by and allow that?
We know that he has been
Necromancy?
attacked. We know that his tomb has been violated, the sanctity of his burial ground. Thieves and murderers came there. They intruded into his home. He has a right to be angry, as any person would, whatever else he is.
He will not have all the power. I have not.
Could you elaborate?
I cannot.
Excuse me. Meat raises his hand.
Yes, meat.
I finished eating. Can I go home yet?
If you do not wish to stay and help to save the lands from certain annihilation, then yes, you can go.
Do I get presents if I help?
There will be rewards if you help to save us all, yes.
Okay, I'll help.
Oh,
Alright.
dead people get awarded.
I like the sound of that.
Now, there is an old saying in Turan, better the devil you know than the one that you don't. We know Nefertimoon. He has been a presence in these lands for decades. We do not know the master of Yimsha.
What about the other one?
Do you mean Thothamon?
Yeah, that guy. He's still around, right? Did we kill him? Oh, I don't think we killed him.
Certainly not.
So they're looking awfully quiet at the moment, and I say they're up to something.
Perhaps we don't have any intelligence on what Thothamon is doing, and that is a problem. The last that we saw of him was when he sent the Servant of the Ring to Baranotoge to kill the Shadow Master. Well, we know that they are immensely powerful sorcerers. They are not warriors. They do not command armies, per se. Of course, they will have some guardians, but I would expect them to use primarily arcane means to defend themselves. I would also expect they would use the elements of the mountain, the cold, rock slides, perhaps dangerous creatures as part of their defense.
Do we have any elemental sorcerers here?
I have the potential to learn such things. I've been waiting for the shaman Iktomi to train me, but such urgency, I'll have to figure something else out.
Getting trained by a shaman? Unlikely.
I do wish that some of the Picts had come. We could certainly use their aid.
Iktomi has been gone on some journey for some time now. Probably some hunt or something.
He's probably dead.
But it would be wise to take the counsel of Mahigan, now that she has been chosen by Jebel Sag as his prophet.
Indeed.
Well, there may be those among you who think that Nephitamun is the enemy, and that you should confront him. But if the Sultanate tried and failed, then you are likely to have no better outcome.
Those guys aren't that strong.
Oh, smart.
I'd say best to be rid of them all.
He will have redoubled his defenses. In any case, our official position in Neket is that that would be a futile endeavor. We believe that we must appease the Pharaoh, that we must follow, that we must agree to his demands, and that we must go against the Master of Yimsha. Now, for those who are willing to go to New Yimsha and face the Black Seers, are there any who would volunteer to lead this expedition?
I suppose I'll lead the expedition.
Ah, you're a brave man, Zephyr.
Don't
I
mention
think
it.
this will be a bit more difficult than fighting off the Uindaji from the Ket's walls.
We'll see about that.
And I will keep an eye on the Pharaoh and the Necronomicon. I will research more about these items you speak of. I will try to find out what I can from the Pharaoh to see if there is anything he knows that would help us versus the Yimsha.
Well, let us talk about the artifacts of power that we know of, so that everyone at least is able to identify them.
There was a blue blood that the Picts were trying to guard Ganaka from getting, but they failed. Is this one
Yes.
of them?
Yes, that is the blood of the witch Hylie. That is an artifact of power. There were 2 vials of the blood. We know that one is in, well, we know we have one accounted for.
Alright,
We believe that the missing one may be with the Master of Yimsha.
It is.
who said that?
All masky. I think they said my name was Mick. At least my body is.
Ah, Sandman.
That is
Now
Hyley's blood. Now, the Necronomicon, we've spoken of this. Then there is the Mask of the Cult of Dagon. This is another artifact which we suspect may be in the hands of the Master of Yimsha.
It's in his hands. Yep.
The Cult of Dagon, I remember.
Mac, how do you know this?
I'm a wise man. They said I'm a smartass, hence, that's what I know. Have I seen the what? Mask? I haven't had it. I never said I saw it, but I know it's in the Master's hands.
the master.
Master of Yimsha? You know, should I call him just Yimsha guy instead? We don't have a name for this guy.
He has never revealed his name. This is correct. Well,
So is there like a better saying, or this is
in
getting
any case,
complicated.
perhaps Mech will be more forthcoming at a later time as to how he knows that this mask is in the Master's hands, but we must
You guys
assume...
explained it earlier.
Which was?
You guys explained it earlier. That, what was her name? Arutasa? Yeah.
What about Aratasa?
There was a whole skirmish with Arutasa and Mineralis and Libertalia and a little bit of Armisar. You know, Armisar would be here to, back me up here, but, too bad Khaled ran them all off.
On the contrary, we have an advisor from the Kingdom of Armisar here.
Yeah, but they weren't really there. You know, it was mainly just Aatrox and that's kind of it, actually.
Ah, well, that is unfortunate. So you're saying that Arutasa had something to do with getting the Mask of Dagon into the hands of the Black Circle.
Let me ask a question real quick. My memory's kind of foggy today. Has anyone seen Arutasa since that little incident? Anyone at all?
As a matter of fact, Arutasa was the one who allegedly rescued Zoya and Castel from Nephitamun.
So the only people who have seen her are supposedly Zoya and Castel, people who've been, heavily involved, kidnapped and such. Has anyone else seen Arutasa?
Presumably, Sultan Halid saw Arutasa when Arutasa brought the captives back to him in safety.
So this person is only seen actively when a bit of funny business is going on. As you were saying earlier, whatever your name is, things are looking a little fishy. You know, with all the recommendations coming from Zoya and such.
I agree. It saddens me to say that perhaps Zoya is some sort of agent with ulterior motives. That she is perhaps more than she claimed to be, the priestess of Derketo, when she sought sanctuary in Neket. We do not know, but if Zoya is to be found, then we will have questions for her. As for Irutasa, they are confirmed to be an agent of Yimsha, and should be treated with extreme caution.
So that about explains that.
We have spoken of this, of the mask. Now, how did this mask get its power, you might wonder? This was the mask worn by the speaker of Dagon's cult when they awakened their god to destroy the exiled lands in the cataclysm that we all know about. So that is surely an item of great power. It does give me some comfort that the Kari and the Lemurians are bitter enemies. If the mask were to end up in the hands of Nephitamun, I do not believe that he would be calling on Dagon anytime soon. the other artifact we have spoken of, the loincloth of our dear prophetess Gula, the chosen of Derketo. This must be recovered as well.
Are we not sure that Mech does not have it hanging in his restroom?
Maybe Mech's wearing it under his armor.
Or perhaps he still have it, which is why he is
That is
in this
not what
predicament.
Nefertamun has told us. Nefertamun has told us that Yimsha has it.
So, may I interject? What
How
is
does he
a
know?
loincloth got to do with, and how is this a relevant artifact that he is interested in? Or is this
Yeah, I'm
more of
just
a
as
personal
confused as
affair?
this guy.
Well,
This guy's asking the real questions.
Derketo is a
If I...
powerful goddess.
Sorry, go
She
ahead.
is a goddess of lust and of death. Now, prophetess Gula, in her life serving Derketo, has known many men and women in acts of passion and of sacrifice. So this article of hers, I suppose it could be infused with great power from Derketo. And what woman has done more to shape the destiny of these exiled lands than Skula? So, for the ritual of domination, I am not surprised that such an artifact would be needed.
Seems to me that we're being toyed with. I feel like we're going down a dark path here with too many variables. My main concern is by following what he wants, we may be in the support of necromancy, and the alternative is slavery. And for me, it seems like we have an impasse. Aurelius, can you make any sense of this?
I would agree that we are on a dark path, and that this is not a time for moral questions. This is a time for pragmatic decisions necessary to save us all. We do indeed face a choice of evils. We must choose the lesser evil.
I can see those points. I may not be happy about it, but I understand the impasse we are at, and I'm happy to continue.
There is one more artifact of power that we know about. Perhaps there are others that are as yet undiscovered, but there is a staff of the Serpent Men that was lost. It is missing. We don't know if Yimsha or someone else might have it. But I want everyone to be aware of this staff and be looking for that as well.
Would this be a staff protected by a remnant potentially?
A remnant, what do you mean?
I'm a remnant.
A a demon of some degree.
See more like a Frankfurt.
Guarded by a demon. Someone else told us it was eaten by a god. I don't know. I once saw the staff myself when we raided Umbaku, the Yagite shaman in the volcano. We took it from his Yag altar.
I see. I may be mistaken.
The staff of the Serpent Men. It's also called the staff of the Degenerate. We believe that they do. And it would depend which one and what sort of power and who would be able to call upon it. I am sure that for Skula, having that magic loincloth might have enhanced her abilities as a Draketan. I'm sure that the Necronomicon enhances the abilities of Nefertamun as a sorcerer.
So if the location of said artifacts were discovered that are unaccounted for, would we bring this to the attention of the council? Or is there another way in which you want to proceed with this? I apologise that this is my first meeting and I feel a little bit out of my depth here.
Certainly, if you discover or have any new leads on an artifact, you should bring it to the attention of this council. You should bring it to the attention of me, as the Grand Vizier of Niket. You will be rewarded for such information, let alone the safe return of said artifact.
I believe I may have information, but to prevent any misinformation, I shall confirm first, and then I'll be in contact.
Of course.
I would want to make a fool of myself.
Yes, by all means, and do be cautious as you attempt to confirm this. If you require the assistance of the Niket Medjai, please let me know. We don't want anyone to go missing or suffer some horrible fate while they are looking into this.
Of course.
We've lost too many people already in this mad game of sorcerers.
One
Zapagar,
thing I've certainly noticed in... I'm sorry, continue.
Zapagar, who will go with you? Who will be part of this expedition?
Well, any volunteers here?
Yeah. No? What? Sorry. Wait, what did I miss?
Me.
Your first mate is jumping on the table. Does that mean he's a volunteer?
Hammerhead seems he'll be going. Yes, we get it. You can sit down now. Yeah.
What's happening?
Meat. You said you
Hi.
wanted to go.
I did? When?
When you said there's gonna be presents if you go.
Oh, okay. I'll help.
Oh yeah, so Meat's going.
Yeah, we recommend you take someone.
Do I get to bring a bear?
Sure. I will be reaching out. Oh.
Ah, Zahab, I did not know that you were skilled in those arts. Well, who would this other person be? Spirit.
Spirit is a sorceress. She just does everything, doesn't she?
Ah, well, Spirit is a Stygian. I suppose it's in their blood.
Aurelius, how do you feel about this?
I think I'll help.
Well, I'm with you.
Well, there you go.
Alright then. And you, Fang, what will you be up to?
I perhaps may have seen some of these artifacts. If not, I know of one for sure. In the temple. Perhaps I can get it.
In the jungle.
I will bring it to Tanit as she recommended.
Well, this is certainly good to hear.
If I am able to get it, that is. But I will also be keeping an eye on the Necronomicon. And doing more research on these artifacts. Nefertamun has many books.
Let me ask you this, Feng. Has Nefertamun said anything to you ever of Thathamon?
The name has come up he has said that this Tathaman is very powerful, and if from the words of Mekamoses, he's
Does
a very powerful sorcerer.
Nefertamun see Thathaman as a rival, or perhaps as an ally?
More of a rival, someone who tried to take these lands from him long ago.
We know that long ago, in the unnamed city, Thathaman found the Serpent Ring of Set, and that is what gave him the power to dominate the Black Ring and gain control in Stygia.
Uh,
But until Thathaman reveals his hand and what he intends, we can do little about him. But at least that is good to know, that he and Nefertamun are not working together, if what you were told is true.
yes.
Well, I am pleased that there is an expedition being formed. Zapagar, I think you should perhaps take counsel with your volunteers, and let me know if you require anything in the way of supplies or other aid as you prepare to ascend the mountain.
Yes, I'll let you know. So, just about everyone here has volunteered, yes?
I believe that's the case.
Even you, Jan? Very well then. Some potions. Could come in useful. Yes, and I know a curry here is a fighter. Full of surprises, though. Anything else we should know?
I can bring an animal to fight with me, right?
I suppose. This might be a bit of a stealth mission, though.
I heard bloodshed.
Probably.
Mac, would you like to volunteer to go with them to New Yimsha?
I don't think that's very good for my skin.
Yeah,
Remember,
Nick, I think you should go.
remember, if they fail, you will die too.
What do you mean, do I care? What was I talking about? Right?
Do you really have anything better to do, madman?
I don't know, I'm just, trying to enjoy being alive again. If you can call this being alive, of course.
Suit yourself,
Yeah.
then.
Seems you have the least to lose.
But a madman could very well be a liability on a mission like this.
No, trust me. I keep on passing out. That's a bit of an issue, but trust me. I'm real good at fighting. Kill a bunch of people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
you had anything to do with the prophetess's artifact ending up in the hands of Yimsha, then you should do everything in your power to get it back.
You're still talking about that mech guy, right?
Mech, yes.
Sorry, give me a minute. I'm trying to remember his memories here. Yeah, he gave that thing up.
Why did he do it? Why did you do it?
Why did he do what you say? And give it to some sorcerer. I don't really know why.
Mech, by the gods. Well, in any case, be that as it may, we have made some progress this day. I am more optimistic, perhaps, than I was at the beginning. We should all do everything we can to aid Zapogar and his party in this endeavor. But with that, I will call an end to this meeting, and we will discuss the details as needed later on.
When are we heading out?
So, out of character, you will make a ticket, probably Zapogar, and we will add the people who are going, and we will schedule it. It's going to be basically not, I wouldn't say dungeon crawl since it's part of, well, it is a dungeon crawl, but part of it is taking place outdoors. So a D&D style adventure that will potentially be the ultimate mission of this storyline.
It's gonna be harder than the last one, isn't it?
This being my first, I feel unprepared, but we shall see.
I'll give you some
Say-
pointers.
I will say that this adventure is different from the pyramid in that it can be attempted multiple times.
Ah, okay.
But yes, that will be the next step out of character as far as going up to Mount Yimsha is to make a ticket. Just consider it to be impenetrable, impassable. You can't go up there on your own.
Okay.
Well, I wish you all luck, Exiles. Please do send me a raven if anything comes up.
I will be doing so shortly. I believe I may have some information of interest.
Of course. Oh, by the way, Sahab's still here. Ah, I suppose she left already.
Wait. How do I open a new ticket?
Oh, do you have one
Anybody
open?
have any ideas how long a corpse will last before it decays?
Well, yeah, I already have two open. One for the pirate battle and one for the Entomb thing.
Aurelius, we
alright.
must head.
We'll
We
leave
must
you
head
know.
out. Farewell.
Alright. I guess you could talk now, Hagen, if you want. Or not. So are you gonna open the